No, of course, it's not the same. But I have to decide to choose at least what I'm making. If I'm making it for an audience that's only going to watch it on a MacBook or on a television connected to a hard drive or whatever it is, I will obviously change my way of making the film to suit that audience. That's why television is the way it is, and that's why movies are the way they are. You shoot movies differently because they are going to be seen on a big screen. You shoot TV differently. It's the medium you're shooting, and like what Anand's saying, if you look for new narrative ways of getting that audience, personally, I hope I'll always make films for people to watch in a large screen. That's your first choice. But if your narrative is good enough, and if your film is good enough, and your story is good enough, they'll watch it anywhere. It's really it's not important if they watch it in the movie theater or on the laptop. It's the fact that they watch it.
Also, I'm not so convinced about this this idea that's doing rounds. It's kind of a Hollywood idea. It's an American idea that going to the movie theater as an experience is dead. It's not dead in India for sure. That's one. I personally love the experience of being in a dark cinema hall and experiencing something, and that is not mutually exclusive to the experience of watching something on laptop. That's a different experience that can coexist. It's going to coexist. Is my prediction. When television came, people thought that film is going to be dead, but it was not dead. You had two ways of consuming culture.
That's the thing. It's like anybody watching Gravity on a laptop is an idiot here. I mean, why would you not go to the largest possible screen you can and watch that film? I mean, it's something really silly to not watch it there.
I think you've had quite enough questions, if you don't mind my saying so. Let's get some more.
I had a question to Mr. Gandhi. I just wanted to know a little insight on the process of your writing. How much time you took to write Ship of Theseus? Something we don't know, the process of making. Like the locations were there on the script from before, like the windmill and where she's taking photographs in the river, or you were just wrecking and taking pictures, or what was the process, something what we don't know, how it all came together on the big
screen? Well, because I have to keep the answers succinct and short here. The process is a lifelong process for any writer to be working on a story. Probably starts 15 years ago before 15 years before you become aware of it. So in that case, that would be the answer. But the physical process of committing to the story and writing that and identifying that this is the film I want to make and this is the script I want to write was about 1.5 years long in terms of writing.
Sometime in the middle you felt, what am I doing? Why am I writing? No one is going to watch it. Did you feel it in between sometime in India, making such a film?
Well, there were other kinds of insecurities, not this particular set of insecurities. But for example, I never felt that why am I writing this? Nobody's going to see it. A filmmaker has just by the role that you start playing as a filmmaker, there is a certain fall from grace there itself. In this profession of making films, because you're already assuming that your worldview, what you are putting out there, your way of seeing things, your way of seeing relationships or yourself or your environment is relevant enough for the world to want to see. So there is already that arrogant commitment that you're making to it.
Thank you. Yeah.
But I ask myself that question every day actually. Why am I doing it? Why?
I have two questions. The first one is pretty common, but everybody has a different answer for it. One is, the term out of the box has been substituted by art films a lot of times. Now, where is the distinction between both? And my second question is, when you look at film or Indian cinema through a feminist lens, you realize that there are very few films that portray strong women-centric characters, okay? And don't you think there's a dire need for the Indian audience to look at films with a better portrayal of women? The second question is to you, because you make a lot of intellectually stimulating films. So
I made one so far.
Yeah, both.
I think out of the box actually is the newer term. Art film is the older term. I think. I know internationally, and I know this because when I took Udaan to Cannes, the audience there really didn't know how to react to the film, because normally when they're used to Indian films, they're used to either Bollywood or they're used to art films. They really are, whether it's a lot from the south, whether it's Shaji Karun films or Murli Nayar films or Bengali films. So what is this middle of the road cinema that whether it's me or Dibakar or Anurag or any of us actually doing, has been a bit of a confusing genre for these guys. They don't really know where to fix this film. It's like, is it commercial? Is it not commercial? And therefore, out of the box is a term that's kind of is the newer term that's come from there. I think the distinction is that out-of-the-box films actually make it to the theater, and art films very, very rarely make it to the theaters. You'll see them mostly in festivals and that kind of stuff, but they very rarely get commercial releases. I wouldn't term his film as an art film, quite honestly. I think it's an out-of-the-box film, but I think he made the best film of the year, quite honestly. I mean, across the entire year. I mean it. I totally mean it. And that's why I think it's good enough and forceful enough to be able to make it to the theater. But it's not an art movie. I don't think it's an art movie.
To just answer the question about the portrayal of women, I mean that's really the question we should be asking again and again and again till enough people start responding to it. I think the way some of the mainstream films this year portrayed women was downright dangerous. Was if not disgusting, it's scary. It's insanely scary the way it has been consumed, the way it has been accepted, the way we are not fighting it aggressively, the way we are not having this conversation every day on an everyday basis, and we're letting these films exist. We're letting these films make money at that. So I think it's a very important conversation. We are a group of filmmakers. We have some really, really exciting young filmmakers working with us, and I think all of them are committed to understanding some of the most important conversations that need to be had. I'm making a film right now. The next film I'm making is actually a very simple film and hence probably commercial. It's a very, very simple film I'm making. It's probably the simplest thing I've ever attempted writing. It's a story about four people. This young man and the three women his life revolves around. His girlfriend, his mother, and his grandmother. And all three of them are leaving him, and it's a story of him coming to terms with the idea that he's not in charge. And the attempt and the aspiration again is to make women characters that I've had the great privilege and fortune to have had in my life. So
we've got one last question now.
Hi, my question for Vikram. Okay, can I go first, please?
Ladies first.
Can we both have our questions? Yeah, okay. Ask. All right, so my question to Vikram, I have two questions, one about each of your two films. About Udaan, first of all, what about Udaan convinced you as a maker while you were writing it or while you were making it, not just that you want to go ahead and make it, but also about the theatrical and commercial release that it achieved? Because Udaan was actually an offbeat film in the true sense of the word, right? Like, no love story, no hero, heroine, songs. Second question about Lotera is the fact that Lotera, on the other hand, had these elements, like a hero, heroine, love story, songs, and still it's called offbeat. So what is then the true meaning of offbeat with respect to Lotera? Because they are both put in that same, so do you as a maker look at it also as the same bracket?
Maybe I am an offbeat filmmaker. I don't know. I thought I was a commercial filmmaker.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you do write, and I think Anand's talking about this, it's a lifetime of writing that it's a lifetime of thinking about a certain thing you actually do. I've been through, and because I had a long gestation period between actually writing and actually making my first film, I did write a hell of a lot. I wrote a lot of scripts. There are some scripts that call out to you from inside the cupboard saying, make me, and there's some that don't. And I think the ones that call out to you are the ones you know are the important ones that you want to actually go out there and make. Udaan was one of those films. I wrote it, and it was something that you knew that you really, really wanted to make. Even, that 3 years after you've written it, you open it up and you read it and you're like, I really want to make this film. And it's real difficult. It's difficult to put down into terms. Yes, I had a huge problem. I used to go to every producer and they're like, put in a girl. And I tried. I tried to put in a girl. I found it didn't work. And they're like, oh, the father is a bad guy. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's the way it is. And I had to fight at every level. But I didn't go into the film. Luckily, Devdi became a hit. Luckily, people came to Anurag. And literally, like you said, Soham was your benefactor. We had Sanjay Singh who came to Anurag and said, "Mujhe picture banani hai." He said, "Udaan banao." He had no clue what I was making. I went there, I made it, and I came back. I got lucky as well in that sense. But you're not going there thinking, you know, oh, what's going to happen to the box office, and you can't, yeah. You can't think of those things when you're making the film. You just go there. My attitude was, I'm making a film which, in the worst case scenario, it's a showreel for me to go and show people that, look, I can maybe make a feature film. In the best case scenario, it gets a theatrical release, which it actually did. I think there's a lot of good forces that, you know, that made that happen. And as Lutera, I don't know. I don't know why it's an offbeat film. I can't answer that question.
Thank you.
I want to share the view. Okay.
Okay.
She's been waiting for the question.
Yeah, you can say.
Sir, the poems by Amita Bhattacharya and Udaan, they inspire me a lot. And my question is sending an out-of-box film to an international film festival and it getting recognized there a gateway of the movie promotion in India? Like, you know, movies like A Girl in Yellow Boots or for Gangs of Wasseypur, Ship of Thesis, and now Peddlers. All these movies going to international film festivals, getting recognized there, and then we have articles online and in Times of India and every newspaper written about them. Is it a way of getting the movie promoted in India for the Indian audience?
I don't know. You guys tell me. I think, yes, Udaan went to Cannes, but we never put it on the poster. It was nothing that was advertised in a certain sort of sense. I think it does put the film maybe into a box where people actually believe that they're going to watch something good. But then there's news reports about Kama Sutra 3D also going to Cannes. And so I don't know.
So it could be a promotional strategy. That's what, you know, because if I am a filmmaker, I want to get my movie promoted and I want a large audience watching it. So, you know, could even I use it? If it's an art film, I send it to a festival, it gets recognized, and I get, you know, like I make crores out of it if Indian audience likes it. That's what I'm just taking a suggestion.
Yeah, if that was the case, I think he would have made crores out of his film.
But I mean, I think it's important, you know, you get any critical feedback is very important. But I mean, it sometimes really annoys me the way that things only get taken seriously if somebody in the West says they're good. You know, every year when the Oscars come up, India moans and gripes about the Oscars. And why? You know, we were talking about an aesthetic of cinema here. Only a certain kind of aesthetic ever wins an Oscar. And, you know, I always say, and how many Hollywood films have ever won a Filmfare Award?
Thank you.
Can I share my view now? Yeah. Okay. Hi, my name is Vikas Dani and I'm also a filmmaker. My film Sand Temple is in official selection of Jaipur International Film Festival. So I just want to share my view. Like, जब से मैं film start करा चालू बनाना कि ये आर्ट फिल्म ये कमर्शियल फिल्म मुझे लगता है कि जब कोई डायरेक्टर फिल्म बनाए जैसे मैं मेरे अंदर स्टोरीज है जो मैं बनाना चाहता हूँ कि हाँ ये फिल्म बननी चाहिए तो आई डोंट थिंक दैट दिस शुड बी अ कमर्शियल आर्ट मुझे लगता है सत्यजीत रे ने सोचा था कि ये मैं आर्ट बना रहा हूँ कि कमर्शियल बना रहा हूँ मुझे लगता है फेलिनी ने सोचा था कि ये वो इटली को उसने देखा फेलिनी ने उसको जो एमर कॉर्ड में देखा उसने इटली को दिखा दिया बंगाल को जो देखा सत्यजीत उसने वो दिखाया और जैसे बहुत सारे वुडी एलन ने अमेरिका को वैसा देखा तो मैं जैसे देखता हूँ अपने एरिया को तो मैं वैसा दिखाऊंगा और वो फिर आर्ट और कमर्शियल कहाँ से आ गया वो तो एक प्योर सिनेमा है जो दिखना चाहिए सामने ये बस जैसे आपने वो देखा मतलब जैसे जमशेदपुर का आपने उड़ान में देखा जो आपने देखा वो दिखा दिया बस दैट्स इट नथिंग एल्स
I think that's more of a statement than a question. I don't know if you want to respond.
I don't know what to say to that. I think you always make a film for an audience. It doesn't matter if it's 10 people or it's 1 million people. You're making it for an audience. You're not. I don't know if I can make a film just for myself to watch. You always make it. I think there's a lovely pride, and it comes from the idea of going to film festivals. We don't go to film festivals to promote films. We go to film festivals to show our films to an audience that appreciates those films, and to be able to compete amongst other films and be able to sort of like judge your own worth amongst the other films. The idea of film festival is that. It's not about promotion and that kind of stuff. And I think it's the same thing. It's always an audience you're making a film for. हाँ, but आप audience के लिए बना रहे हो ना बाबा, आप खुद के लिए नहीं बना रहे हो. You can make whatever you want, but make it for an audience. Make it for someone to watch it. Make it for the next person. Make it for your neighbor, but make it.
All right, thank you. No, I'm really sorry. There's no more time. But So Vikramaditya, one small question that I would like to ask you. I at least get that much of liberty. Now, looking back at Devdas, Mr. Roy made it in the year 1955, if I'm not mistaken. We had a remake in 2002 with Shah Rukh Khan, and then you made Devdi, somewhere on the similar lines. When you were doing the screenplay, how difficult was it to actually do the entire thing when the audience knows the entire plot? 1955, 2002, probably a remake because that's a different generation, but 2002 and somewhere near about 2010. So how difficult was it? And there are a lot of aspiring film writers and screenplay writers who've joined us here. Any comments that you would give?
Devdas wasn't that difficult a book to adapt because what we did was we went back to the book. What Sanjay Bansali did was that he took Bimal Roy's film as a starting point, and I think Bimal Roy had taken P.C. Barua's film as a starting point and moved on. And one thing we did is that let's not take any of the films as a starting point. Let's just go back to scratch. Let's go back to the novel. Let's reread the entire thing. Let's look at it afresh, completely, and saying if we're making this now for an audience now, if they're going to wear these clothes and live in these towns and travel by these means of transport and use these instruments of communication, how would the film be different? So I think the first thing that we did was the best thing that we did was just throw away all the potential baggage that you would have from the previous films and just completely start afresh. And that's exactly what we did.
Fantastic, and it turned out to be brilliant. So let me tell you, it was absolutely amazing. Now, they've been entertaining the entire time, and it's now to just say them a thank you from our side. Now, how that works is I'll give you a situation, and probably any lady who could complete the entire sentence. So I'll give you a situation. We were talking about out-of-the-box movies. So what I'll do is I'll play a little small game, if I may call it. I'll give a situation. One person says the most obvious dialogue, and one person says something that's out of the box. So the situation is, with your permission only. All right, I have Rachel staring at me like, this was not in my contract, but nevertheless, you just keep on adding some things. Scenario. There's this boy who's standing near a tree, looking at a sunset, beautiful sunset. And then the girl behind is running with her pallu flowing in the air, and she's crying. And she has her hands on her tummy. And she's running and she says something to the boy, and the boy's like, Kya? Ye kaise ho gaya? Any lady who can tell me the most common thing what the girl would have said? The ladies, not the guys. Kya baat hai? Why don't you give a mic to the lady because she's confident about it? All right, well, why don't you just stand up and say it as loud as you can?